G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So today I'm going to be doing a run of 15 games. I'm going to jump straight in using my standard team of Giratina, Dialga, and Metagross. So let's see our first opponent. This is 15 games and it'll get me to rank 9. So first one out, Giratina lead versus Mewtwo, so really favourable for me, so they will switch out, which they have. They've jumped into Dialga, which means I'll switch into my own. So that's a questionable move, but that's what I'll do. So they're probably going to throw the Iron Head here. Yep. So that's fine. So didn't shield that up. So questionable whether to shield or not. Let's throw the Thunder. And so they've shielded that. So that's not gone ideally for us, because they've taken out and got to another fast move. So I'm not going to shield that, hoping it's the Iron Head. Let's see. It is the Iron Head, so that's okay. So fast move, farm this one down. So it is, Dialga's just doing so much fast move damage there. It's just an absolute beast. So they've brought out their own Giratina, so that's interesting. So I'll throw this Medium Ash. So they've not shielded that, and then I'm going to switch up and throw straight to my Ominous Wind, hoping I can bait their last shield out of them. Let's see. Yeah, so we've got that shield, so that's good. So I've got 2 shields, so I'm definitely going to use one here because I've got Mewtwo in the back, and I want to keep my Giratina for that Mewtwo. So I've thrown out the Mewtwo. Absolutely fine. So this is probably going to be a Psy Strike. So it is. So questionable. Still would have done a lot of damage. So I'm going to do a little bit of extra. I'm going to Shadow Ball here to get it within range. Well, take it out, and let's see what we get. Hopefully I can get to the Ominous Wind before they do. Even if I don't, they're going to be so close to dead that my Metagross should be able to take them out. So I've got to the Ominous Wind, so that's fine. Happy days. So game 1 done. Moving into game 2. Let's see what we get. We'll jump straight in. Interesting name there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Let's jump in. So these are, like I said, rank 8 battles with Giratina on the lead. So let's see how I go. So Togekiss on the lead's not great for me. So I do now play this a little bit differently. I would leave Giratina in now, so rather than swap out, because as you can see, what happens is you swap out into Metagross and then they swap out into something that counters Metagross. It seems to be the way that it happens. So they've not shielded that one, so that's done a massive chunk of damage to them. So here, do I shield or do I not? So I've shielded here, so that's an interesting call as well. So normally, well, I guess it's to try and get to a second charge move to force them to shield, and I have done that, so that's absolutely fine. So they will definitely shield here, because if they didn't, obviously it would take them out. So I'm not going to shield that. Let it go down, and then bring in the Dialga to fast move, farm it down, which means they're going to bring in their Togekiss, which is also they've not, so they've brought in the Metagross, so that's an interesting call. So if I swap out here, the problem is they're just going to switch themselves, which they have. That's absolutely fine. So I'll throw the charge move. I've got some residual energy on my Dialga. So that should help me out in the back. So unfortunately they have shielded that one correctly. If I can get to another Shadow Ball, happy days. So the question is, do I shield this or do I not? Interesting call. I don't know whether that was a good move or not. And I did manage to get there, so I can throw the charge move, which is okay. And that'll take it out. So then I've got their Metagross that I'm trying to do as much damage as I can, which it did do a reasonable amount of damage, and then I'll throw straight into the Thunder. So that's where I've got that residual energy, and comes in handy. So there's a good game right there. So moving on to game number 3. And we'll see how we go. So when we get there, so there we are. So thrown to game 3. Let's see what we come up against. So again, rank 8. And let's hope for a good lead. Obviously the lead that I really don't like, so this is an interesting one. So they're probably going to be running Sand Tomb and Outrage. So they've now switched out, which is really good timing on their part. So I threw that Ominous Wind. Let's see, what have they got? So they've got their own Togekiss there, so I'll throw straight into my Metagross because I'll be switch locked in there. And then this is really good for me as well because they will have to use this, burn this second shield on the Togekiss. And so there's, they've gone 2 shields down, and I'm going to use a shield because they're probably going to be flamethrowing here. Let's see what they do. Oh, and it's the Ancient Power, so that's a really good bait on their part. Let's see if they get to another fast move. So I'm going to commit to farming down here. And they didn't get to the charge. So, and by another fast move, I meant charge. So they've thrown straight in here. So I'm going to have to shield because I don't want to waste all of this this energy. And I've thrown the Earthquake. So that's interesting. So they're obviously... Ooh, and that's a mistake on my part. I should have thrown the Earthquake there rather than the. Although it does do a lot of damage there, so in time to throw the next charge move, and that'll KO, which is good. So they won't get a chance to throw another Earthquake from there. From that, so this is not ideal for me. So I've managed to swap into the charge move, which is perfect, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So they'll be throwing a Rock Slide, but that's fine. So I'll charge up here, and let's see. Ooh, this Rock Slide shouldn't take me out at this range. It'll get me really, really close. But I should be able to still throw the Shadow Ball there. And they should be within range of Shadow Ball. Let's have a look. Oh, so they're not even close to being in range. I don't know what I was thinking there. So let's see if I get another, if I can throw the Ominous Wind, and I do, which is great. So they're trying to fast move farm me down there, and then that's really not worked out well for them. But good game there. So managed to keep everything alive, which is unheard of in my games, but happy with that one. So that's game number 3. So let's kick right into game 4, and let's see who we get. So searching. So this one's a rank 9 player, so that's interesting. Let's see if how we go on the lead, and they're leading with a Groudon. Which is an interesting choice. I don't know whether to switch out here or not, so I don't. So I'm going to go Ominous Wind. So unfortunately they've beaten me to the charge, so it'll be Earthquake, and it's going to do a huge amount of damage. Yeah, so I didn't realise that it would be quite that much damage, but I mean, that's unfortunate. So they've not shielded as well, which is really not ideal for me. And then they've switched into their Dialga, which is not ideal. So I'm really on the back foot here. So let's go straight into this Earthquake and hope they think I'm baiting them. So they didn't shield the Ominous Wind. Let's see if they'll shield this, and they do. Oof. So this is not looking good at all for me. So let's see if I can get to a... so I've got 2 shields, so I'll use one here, and hopefully it'll let me get to another Earthquake. So they've Iron Head baited me there, which is unfortunate. To be honest, it wouldn't really matter. Oof. And question is, do I shield? And I have. So straight into that shield, because I want to get that Earthquake off and burn their second shield. So they will shield here as well, I imagine, unless they let this one go. No, so they have used their second shield, which is absolutely fine. And let's see if I can get to the Iron Head. And I should have gone the Iron Head there. I sort of went a bit greedy and went for Earthquake. I should have gone the Iron Head. At least then I would have done a little bit of extra chip damage. So this is not going to be ideal for me, because they're going to be bringing their Groudon back in. And if it gets off an Earthquake, I'm in all sorts of trouble. So let's see what we do. So there's the Groudon there. And I didn't actually realise how close to death my Giratina was. So that's... fainted really quickly. Iron Headed there. Let's see. Can I charge it down? I can. And what have they got in the back? So they have the Melmetal. That's good game. So I really should have had a few questionable calls here. So this will probably be a superpower, and that'll take me out. Yep. So superpower and game over. So that's game 4 done, and we'll jump straight into game 5, and let's see how this person goes. So it's again a great name, and let's see what they lead with. So it's a mirror. So my Giratina is 100%, so I should be able to take this, assuming that shields are we use shields correctly. So I've gone for the Shadow Ball straight up. Let's see if they shield. They have, so that's unfortunate. They're going to be going straight back, so I have to shield. So if they have Ominous Wind baited me, this sort of shifts the dynamic. Ooh, and they have. So that's a real interesting one there. So they've up on energy. So, so they've swapped out, and that's fine. So I'll do the same. So I've swapped into my own Dialga, and we'll see how this goes. So let's see how they're doing. So this should just be the Iron Head. Let's see what it is. Ooh, it's Thunder. So I didn't realise I could get there so quickly, but that's fine. So I'll do the same. So to be honest, the range that they're in now, I should have just Iron Head. Should have used the Iron Head to knock them out, because they probably won't shield, which they haven't. And then let's see what they come back with. So, got the Melmetal in the back. So I'm going to let this one go down. No point shielding here. Let's see what they do. They might go a Rock Slide, which will get me close, but may not take me out. So it hasn't taken me out. And I get to, so get to the Iron Head, which is absolutely perfect. So that'll do a nice little bit of damage there. Let's see what they do. So the issue here is going to be they've got their own Giratina in the back. So I think I'm going to throw my Metagross in. So let's see what they do here. So they could be superpowering and then switching out. I'm going to let this go because it will do neutral damage. Let's see. Are they switching? So it doesn't look like they're switching. So unless they had a missed time there, maybe. Let's see what happens here. And so lots and lots of lag. So let's see. So they did shield that one, so that's all right for them. So I will shield this one up and then switch straight out. So they did manage to get the Shadow Ball off there. So I'll switch straight out and then I'll throw my own. And then that should, well, let's see, that'll take them out quite easily. And then we'll throw into the mirror, well, not the mirror, the Melmetal. I'll throw straight up into the Ominous Wind just to do that chip damage. I don't know how far they've got until they can throw their own. Yeah, so lucky I threw that Ominous Wind. So they'll, at this range, that should take me out. It's going to go really close. It may not. It did take me out. So, and then I can throw into the Metagross and get the win there. So happy days. So managed to pull off that one as well. And then that's game number 5 done. So let's jump into game 6 and see how we go. So game 6, so they're leading with a Kyogre, which is good for me. Let's see if they switch straight out or whether they, yep, so they're switching straight out. So they switched into Mamoswine, which is, again, an interesting choice. So that's charged so quickly. I'm going to let that go. I don't know, well, no, I'm going to shield, and it is the Bulldoze. So, because I thought it was a bit fast to get to the Avalanche. So the Avalanche is obviously going to be resisted by Metagross. Let's see what they do. So they've shielded that up as well, because that's going to be super effective. So they're going to be going another Bulldoze, and I'm going to commit 2 shields to this this matchup. So I don't know whether that was a really bad move or not. So fast move, farm them down. So they're up a shield, but let's see what they do here. So they probably won't shield. So what I've found is Kyogres generally will not shield against Metagross, and they don't. So that does a huge amount of damage there. So we'll see the Surf come out here. Yep, so that's Surf, and that's, well, not taking me out. Must have left me with a couple of HP. So I'm going to throw back into my, oh, and they've done the switch. So I threw the charge move, and they've switched out. So let's see what they've got. So they switched out to begin with, so I can't imagine this is going to be the best swap. And it, well, was/wasn't. Switched into Dragonite, so nice easy farm down here for the Dialga. It's going to take that down every day of the week. So a little bit of lag there. And there we go. So I have had to commit to using that energy just because it was getting much closer than I would have liked. And then let's farm this down. So this will be fine. So they're going to take me out with the Surf here. And then I'll come back in with my Giratina for the win. So absolutely fine with that. And fast move and straight down. So there is game 6 done. So let's jump into the next one. So who have we got in game 7? Jakey face. So interesting. Let's jump into it. So off the lead. So this is an alright lead for me. So I'm going to stay in here. Let's see what they do. So they're probably going to throw the, yeah, so they're going to straight up throw Rock Slides at me. Which shielding is questionable. So I've shielded there. So I'll charge that up a little bit more, do some extra damage, and then I'm going to throw straight Shadow Ball, and let's see what they do. So for Giratina, it does seem that lots of people will not shield that first charge move, and again, so they haven't, and that's done a huge amount of damage there. And when they don't shield, it sort of leaves them in a bad spot to shield the second Ominous Wind, because if they don't shield, obviously they're going down. That Shadow Ball damage does a whole lot at the start, so let's get this Ominous Wind going. And they've not shielded that either, so they've gone down. So that's interesting. So I don't know. I'm going to throw another Shadow Ball here. So let's see. So I guess what I'm worried about here is them switching straight out into something else. So I threw the Shadow Ball and then swap. So really what I should have done is just swap straight out. I shouldn't have thrown that fast move, and but let's see how we go here. So I've thrown the Iron Head, so I massively over farm there, just so they thought I was going to throw something bigger, which they obviously did. So are they going to throw the Earthquake? I think so. And it's not the Earthquake, so they baited me there. So that's gone really well for them. So they've baited out my last shield. Again, a bit more lag. Let's see. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. So I am trying to throw the Iron Head, but the lag's beaten me. So that's really, really, really annoying. So they've Earthquaked me here, which is going to take me out. So it would have been really good to have the be able to get the get my charge move off, because then I could have fast move farm this down. Because I can't, I've switched in. So attack and defense rows there. So they've opted to throw the charge move straight on coming in, which is absolutely fine with me. Dump that energy, and then in comes my Metagross for good game. There's no way they're going to be able to take me out, not with the dragon moves. It just resists too much, and my Meteor Mash is going to do a significant amount of neutral damage. So I'll throw that straight up, and that's game over. So got a bit lucky there with unfortunately, so that did no damage, so they've quit the game, yeah, and out they go. So that's game 7 done. Let's see how we go. So we'll jump into game 8. So Damien 93 as. So what have we got? So Kyogre off of the lead, which is really good for us. And obviously they're going to switch straight out, and they've switched into Togekiss. So again, happy days. So that's good for us as well. So I'll go straight for those. Straight for the Meteor Mash here, because obviously if they don't shield, that's going to take it out. So let's see what they do. Oh, so they've not shielded, so that's so they've gone straight for the no shield strategy there. So keeping 2 shields here. So let's see, can I get to my Earthquake? Yes, I can. So I get to the Earthquake before they get to a Surf, which means, let's see, they probably won't shield. So like I keep saying, oh, so they have shielded. So that's fine. That works out well. So so they're committing to that farm down. That's a brutal farm down right there. So that waterfall damage from Kyogre is immense. So it's see what will they do. So they've got a whole lot of energy. Let's see if they throw the Blizzard. And they haven't. They've surfed me. So that's really unfortunate for me. So I'm going to throw my own Ominous Wind here. Try and bait them back. If they don't shield, oof. I mean, so they've not shielded. Oh, that's not good for me either. So Oh, and they've gone straight for another one. So this has got to be the Blizzard. Is it the Blizzard? It is. So they've thrown the Blizzard there. So correct shield there. And let's throw the Ominous Wind. I want to get rid of all this waterfall damage. I know I'm resisting it, but it still adds up. So let's and attack and defense sharply rose. So happy days. So I'm gonna so I probably should have thrown there first. So they've gone the Rock Slide, so it's not going to do much damage because obviously I've got that boost. Gotta love the boost. So boost number one. So it goes straight for the Ominous Wind again, so they've shielded that. And boost number 2. So this is good game. They're not getting through. They've just... Rock Slide's going to do next to no damage now, and then they've used up their shields, and I'll throw my Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball's going to good game at this with a double boost. So that's really helped me out there. So obviously, good game. That double boost, wow, quite nice. So that is game 8. I think it is done, and so and this team of 3 is really doing well for me. So if you don't come up to that Dialga lead, you're in a pretty good place for all of the meta, really. So the other one that is a bit of a troubling one is the that is a troubling one. So Snorlax, of course, I had to say it. So Snorlax comes out. Snorlax, Dialga, and then we've got the Togekiss, which is a questionable one. So they've got to their charge move. So this is going to be cross chop always every day of the week. So they've thrown out that, it's not, it's a Rock Slide. Wow. So that is an amazing bait on their part. So really good bait, so I'll throw the Iron Head. So of course they're going to shield this up. So unfortunately, they're committing for the farm down. So they committed to the farm down. I managed to get there. Let's see what they do. So they've let it go. So that's really helped me out. So that's really lucky there. Let's see. So they've gone back in with the Snorlax, which is not ideal for me, because they're going to switch out. Because obviously the so that's interesting that they're not switching out. So the question is this an Earthquake? It is. So that's a really nice shield. So they've swapped out there, and they've swapped into the Lugia. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see. So Sky Attack, it does a reasonable amount of damage. So to be completely honest, I don't come up against many. So I'm going to over farm like crazy there, and then throw this Ominous Wind, and they've not shielded. So I'm going to throw again. Let's see. So I'm going to throw it again. Let's see what they do. So I'm really hoping I get a shield at some point, because need to get that shield. So they've not shielded again. So this is really interesting. So they're going to come back out with their Snorlax that has a shield on it. So I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball, because they're not going to shield from the Giratina. It's going to do no damage. So I've swapped over, and I'm going to go straight for Meteor Mash. I'm hoping that I've over-farmed enough to, just because I don't want them to build up any energy. So I'm hoping I've done enough to be able to throw a second before they get to their Earthquake, and I have. So I've thrown that second one, so happy days. Had I left the Giratina in, they could have farmed up a bit more and possibly got to the charge move, so that's why I've swapped straight out. So happy days. That's a good game. So remember that swap out strategy. If they're going to farm up on you, just swap it out. throw in the next one. Had they got the Earthquake off, good game. There's no way Giratina was ever going to take out that Snorlax. So let's jump into game number 10. So we've, oh god, and this is the lead I didn't want. So I have to swap this straight out. So I've started the farm down. So mirror this and see how we go. So so they've swapped out, which is interesting. So I'm going to throw for a Draco Meteor, which is probably the wrong move, to be fair. Oh, but they've not shielded, so it's actually worked out really well for me. So they're going to farm me down, and I think I'm not going to get to the Draco Meteor, so I'm just going to throw straight up Iron Head. So let's see what they do here. They probably won't shield. Oh, they have shielded, so that's even better for me. That's absolutely amazing for me. So I'm going to obviously have to switch into my Metagross here, which is fine. So I'm up a shield, so I think I'm going to shield this because it could be the Draco Meteor. Oh, it's Thunder. Okay, so they must be running Iron Head and Thunder. So that's interesting. So with knowing that, I'm not going to shield this one because even if it is another Thunder, it'll do a reasonable amount of damage. Yep, and it has. But they won't take me out with that, so I will pull the trigger here because I don't want them to get to an Iron Head and take me out with Iron Head. That'd be just insanely awkward. So let's see what their last one is. So that's I'm going to swap straight out so they don't farm up any energy off me. So are they going to throw Shadow Ball or are they going to go Ominous Wind? So I'm letting it go, and it's the Ominous Wind. That's perfect for me. So I'm going to over farm here. I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball. So I don't know. Let's see what they do here. So they've shielded. Oh, so that's the wrong move for me. So this has put us back in sort of the same energy rating. I'm going to shield this one up. Hopefully it's... Oh, so it's an Ominous Wind. No option there, had to shield. So can I get to it? I can. So I get to the Shadow Ball, and that's good game. So let's just let this one go. Shadow Ball, and takes it out. So that's a good game, and happy with that one as well. So that's, well, game number 10 done. So we'll jump into the next one. Well, so claiming some rewards first, and let's jump into the next one. So I went 5-0 there, which is really great, especially considering had the lead of a Dialga lead in there. So straight up Dialga lead in this game number 11. So that's really bad for me. So I'm going to mirror that, and let's see how we go. So at the Iron Head and at the Draco Meteor. So the question is, are they going to Draco me? I'm going to shield this up because they may be doing just that. No, they've baited me. So that's a really good bait there. So I've Iron Head here, which is a questionable move. So I could have Dracoed there, but obviously I'm switch locked in, so I can't Draco straight off the bat. So what I'm going to do is go for a Draco now. Ooh, question is it going to be the Earthquake or is it going to be it's the Body Slam? So they baited me there, so that's, so they've done really well there. So this is, let's see if they don't shield this up. And they haven't. Oh, so Draco Meteor, huge amounts of damage there. So absolutely perfect for me. Let's see. They're going to commit to the farm down here, which is not going to go well for me. So I'm going to switch in to my Metagross. And, this is going to... If they've got Draco Meteor, they're going to be using it now. So let's see how much damage Draco Meteor does to... Yeah. Oh, so actually that's not too bad. So, I mean, it sucks, but it's not one-shotted me. So that's okay. So let's see what they do here. So I've got energy stored up on the Metagross in the back. So I've got no shields. So if they're straight up shadow balling me, it's gonna be a close one. Oh, so that is close. So we'll see. So I've got to my Ominous Wind, which is fine. So they've shielded that one up, and that's probably good game. Let's be honest. They're going to go. So I'll go straight into my Media Mash, and let's see what we do here. So, and then it gets close. So it's going to be real close. Oh no! So they've got the charge move saved up, and that's good game. Game number 11. So unfortunately, game number 11, they've taken that one. So very, very close game. The Draco Media on Snorlax really worked out well for me. But then it does leave me open at... well, it did leave me open to the farm down, and then they Draco Media'd my... Metagross. So we'll jump into game number 12 against Mondo 72, and let's see how we go. So we've got the mirror here. So so this is interesting. Again, I've got a hundo, so it should be, assuming shields are used correctly, I should have this. So I've shielded up this first one. Let's see what it is. Ominous Wind, of course. It's going to be an Ominous Wind. That's fine though. Let's... I'm going to massively over farm. I'm going to throw my own Ominous Wind. They'll shield this one up as well. And then I'll be able to jump straight into another Ominous Wind. So I will do exactly that. So, charge. And they blocked that one as well, which is fine. And then, so they're going to throw... So I'm going to go 2 shields deep into this, because they'll throw their Ominous Wind now. And then I'll be able to throw my Ominous Wind first. And get the lead matchup, get the win for that lead matchup with a little bit of residual energy. Not residual energy, sorry, a little bit of residual health, which always helps. And they're going to throw into Kyogre, so I think what I'm going to do is try for the Shadow Ball, come on! And yes, so it managed to get to the Shadow Ball, which is really good for me. So throw the Shadow Ball, does a bit of damage, and oh, that's perfect, absolutely perfect for me. Was able to win the CMP there, and so they burnt their energy as well as taking the Shadow Ball. So out comes Dialga to fast move farm this down. It does not matter if it throws a move, a charge move at this point, because they'll only be able to get to Surf, do no damage. And then in comes their own Metagross, so that's fine as well. I'll Draco Media this, and then I've got my own Metagross in the back. So to beat this, they're going to have to use an Earthquake. So that's fine. They're going to Earthquake me here. And take me out, and then I've got my own Metagross, so they won't be able to get to the charge move before I farm them down there. So that's game number 12. So done and dusted. So let's move into game 13. So what have we got in game 13? So searching. Shinai, hey? So Great name. So again, good lead for us. So I'm going to try and fast move this down. So I'm expecting them to switch, but they're not switching, so that's fine with me as well. So this I don't think hasn't been long enough to get to the blizzard. So I'll let that one go. I'll let the surf happen. So the question is, at what point do I start using mine? So there we go. So going to go and throw into this ominous wind and hopefully get back-to-back ominous wind. So let's see if they shield, and they haven't, so that's fine. I'll throw another one. So straight into the second charge move. So they've not shielded again, absolutely fine. So now they've got their surf coming, I think, so I'm going to let that go as well. So I should be able to make that, and then I'll fast move farm this one down. And yeah, so they didn't get to another surf, which is happy days. So I'm going to go straight up Shadow Ball here. So let's see what happens. They probably will shield this one, and they have, which is the right move to make. And then they fast move farm me down. So I'm going to jump into, what am I going to jump into here? I'll go straight for the Dialga. Let's see what they do. So we're going to Absolute Town. So the question is this going to be the Draco Meteor? So I'm going to shield this up, and it's the Iron Head. So they really do poorly at getting the bait here. So they've switched into their and I've switched into the attack, which should be a superpower. Even if it's not, if it's a rock slide, it will do no damage. So it's a superpower, so it's not going to do a huge amount of damage, but a neutral damage there, and then it means their attack and defense fall. So I'm going to let's see if this is going to be a superpower as well. So I think I'm going to let this one go. So it's a rock slide, so that's really good for me. I'm going to over farm here, but I can't be too greedy because let's hope this is a superpower. And it's another rock slide. It's not very effective, but that's fine. So I'm going to have to pull the trigger here because I can't take too much more damage. And hopefully I've got enough residual energy. So they've used the shield there, so that's an interesting one. So I'm going to then go with the Earthquake, because even if I go with the Meteor Mash, I won't actually have enough time to get to the next one. So I swap straight out and go straight into the Draco Meteor. They've got no shields, and that's good game. So love that stored energy. No shields. That's unfortunate for them. So that's game number 13 done. So again, happy with that one. Saving up that residual energy if you can to jump. So when you jump back in, throw a fast move straight away is always good. And is, trust me, I've been on the receiving end of it a lot of times, really frustrating the other way. So up next, ranked 9 player, or at least was a ranked 9 player. Let's see what the lead is. Okay. So this is an interesting one. So they're obviously charming me down, and they've got doing huge amounts of damage. So I don't know how to play this, to be completely honest. This is the first time I've come across a Gardevoir, so I'm going to throw this move and see what we get. So we've got a shield there. I'm going to go straight in for a second one. Let's see if they shield both. And they made an absolutely amazing switch there. So that's absolutely fine. So they've got a loaded Gardevoir in the back. So let's see, what is this going to have? The question is, shall I shield? So I've gone to shield just because I'm not sure what it is. So Iron Head, I'm really bad at, it's just so over cautious about shielding. So I'm going to overcharge like crazy. Let's see what comes out. So I'm going to throw this straight up, because if it's so the Gardevoir comes out and wants to wreck me, then at least I can. Oh, so I tried to switch out of there, didn't quite get there. So the question is, do I shield or do I leave it? I'm going to let it go. So it's only a psychic, so it's actually not too bad for me. So out comes my Metagross. Let's see what's in the back. And it's Mewtwo, so happy days. I'm up a shield, so they've gone way too fast for that. That must be a Psystrike, and it is, so that's fine. I'll let that one go through. I'll throw my own Meteor Mash here. I'm up the shield, so the one to watch out for is the Shadow Ball if they have a Shadow Ball Mewtwo. So now they've thrown the Psystrike, they don't have a Shadow Ball Mewtwo, and they've quit the game. They know it's all over, so happy days. So that's game 14 done. Let's jump into the last one and see how we go. So Samantha is game number 15. So this is an okay matchup for me. It's not great. Obviously the best matchup for me would be leading with the Metagross. But if I switch the Metagross in now, they're just going to switch straight out and probably come in with the Giratina of their own. So I'm going to get that a long way down and then throw these charge moves. And hopefully, so I've got the first shield. So I'm going to throw straight into that second charge move. Let's see if I can get this second shield. And I've got both shields, so that's absolutely insane for me. So I'm going to throw into my Metagross, and so they've swapped out, and they've got and so I'm going to have to swap out as well, straight into the Dialga, because Dialga is going to be super weak against the Togekiss. So this should be a Surf. It was too quick to get that fast move off, so I'll let that one go. So still got the two shields. So this one is taking a little bit longer. So I'll throw my Iron Head. Let's see what we get here. So do we KO? No. So they've now been charging for a long time. So I'm going to shield this up because it could be the Blizzard, which is going to do a reasonable amount of damage, not huge amounts of damage. So they have, so let's hope to get to the farm down, and so committed to the farm down, so happy days. So I imagine the Togekiss is definitely going to be the one that comes back out. Oh no, it's not. So that's really interesting. So I'm going to straight up throw the Draco Meteor, so I don't know whether that was a misclick or they were trying to bait me and then switch out, because Draco Meteor, that's one shot at that Giratina, which is good for me. And then their worst possible outcome for them, out comes my Metagross with charge. So I'll throw that now, and that's good game. So all that energy gone to waste. I still had a shield in the back, so happy days. So that's game 15, so 13 and 2, so not bad. So here are my rewards for getting 13 and 2. So 2 lots of 4 and 5 on the left hand side there. So what do I get? Skarmory, a Dino, which is absolutely outstanding. Really happy with that Dino. I still need the evolution, and then Landorus. So happy days. Bit of extra candy there. So 1995, so not great. So got the excellent throw on the Dino, and it somehow managed to break out of the ball, which is really great. So back to back excellence on the Dino in the middle there, and then. Let's see how we go. So, right hand side. Let's start building that rank up a bit. So Dino, 2 stars. Unfortunate. let's have a look down. So in the middle, so very close. And let's see that change into rank 9. So really happy with that one. So that's rank 9 for season 1. Obviously there's still a bit of time to go, so happy days. I can hopefully build that up a little bit more. To be honest, rank 9 was my aim. I'd like to get sort of midway through rank 9, but I fully don't expect to be getting to rank 10, which is absolutely fine. So as you can see, that line that I'm running there, so Giratina on the lead, followed by Dialga and Metagross, has been really successful for me. I think with some of the other YouTube people making some recommendations of what to throw out first, it'll become even stronger. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this will help for someone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.